OG Top Podcast. This is your host, Tyrone Dawson. And today's episode is consist of when keeping it real goes wrong. So I'm going to take you back a couple of years. Maybe a couple of months. Who knows? We don't know. But I was in a situation where I was considering myself holding the block down for my community. By any means necessary. When I say hold the block down, me and my guys and my team used to be holding stuff down for the OGs. One time the OG came to me and asked me to hold it down to one of his cousins because his cousin was in trouble in the neighborhood he grew up in. I said, no problem. I would make sure your cousin is straight. I would make sure your cousin had places to go because I had a car. And I definitely would keep your cousins in good hands. But keeping it real goes wrong on this situation. And the reason why I say that is because I didn't really know this guy by any means necessary, but I knew his big cousin, and his big cousin was my OG. My OG said, "Lil Ty, can you really take care of my little cousin and make sure he's good and fine?" I said, "Yes, sir, no problem." So the little cousin started hanging with me. Remember, the little cousin is about 2 years younger than me at the time. So I kept seeing the little cousin watching me and mugging me. But me not knowing that his little cousin was a straight killer. I'm doing a favor for my OG, so I'm thinking I'm doing the right thing. But the little cousin is basically lining me up. So we go out to this club one time. We all get dressed up, fly. The little cousin go with us. I'm with the rest of my homeboys. My homeboys looking at him like, dude, something ain't right about this dude. So remember, we from Washington, D.C. So I'm in Washington, D.C. And we go out clubbing. As we walk into this club, we have the little cousin with us. The little cousin is basically a known killer on his side of town, which I never knew that at the time. So we walk into this club. It's called the Pepsi Cola Club in Washington, D.C. They did a lot of go-go music, live band music there. So when we walk in, I instantly see him froze up. I instantly see him tensed up. So I go to him and I ask him, I said, "What's the problem? What's going on?" He said, "You see those dudes over there?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Those guys think that I murdered their cousin." It's like 30 dudes over there watching this young dude. Remember, I don't know this dude from a can of paint, but I'm doing him a favor because of my big OG. When keeping it real goes wrong, we in this club. We basically in there in a death trap, and we're trying to figure out how to get out of this club. Are you guys with me? So these guys surround us in the club like 30 deep. They 5 over here, 5 over there. They blocking us in. They just holding us in by like hostages. This guy is super scared and paranoid. He's looking at me like, what am I going to do? I don't even know this dude. I'm just doing my OG a favor by keeping this dude safe. Not knowing that this guy is a known problem in the city of Washington, D.C. Which he's not from my side of town. So once again, like I was saying, I'm doing my OG a favor. So we in this club, and the guy stepped to him and me at the same time. And he like, "Man, what is you doing in here? What, you know everybody's looking for you." So he's in there trying to explain himself what happened in the situation with this dude and another dude. Remember, this dude got murdered, and they trying to say that the guy that was with me murdered him. I don't know none of these dudes from a can of paint. Once again, I'm doing my OG a favor by looking after his little cousin. So we in the club, and I see 3 guys leave the club that was in that group of guys. And when they left the club, I knew it was time for me to go. So I told this guy, I said, bro, it's time to go. Let's go. He terrified. Nah, man, I don't think that's a good idea. I think I should stay in here for my safety. I said, man, let's go. We leave out the club. All we see is masked men jump out the car busting at this dude. They busting and busting and busting and busting. I gets under my car. He hops in the car. They busting. And I mean, when I say these gunshots were so loud, it was shaking cars. Car alarms was going off. Everybody running under their cars. But when I say keeping it real goes wrong, when you don't know a person, don't have this person in your car, because you never know what they did in the past, in the future. You don't even know who they're about. And that was one lesson I learned, to never trust nobody or help nobody out again, because I could have lost my life because of somebody that I don't know. And I'm trying to help an OG out in my neighborhood, and everything goes wrong. So guys, I just wanted to come on here and just say, if you have good people around you that you know ain't on this bull crap, stay with them. Stay with them, because you don't know who did what, who's committed to who. You don't know what's going on. So that's just the story of the day here at the OG Ty Podcast. I'm your host, Tyrone. And once again, we just do truck talk stories. I'm a trucker. And if you can relate as another trucker, give me a thumbs up. And we are out. Peace.